tied back specifically to a resident or a residence, and then gather the input and do it that way. I'm not opposed to doing a survey. It does take a lot of work and effort, and that would have to be something that we take into consideration.
But I think that's kind of part of your job then,
These are not jobs, they're volunteer positions.
But if you're on the wielding position of power and making decisions about how our park should be used, you need to have the input from
Well,
residents.
I agree it's valuable. Let me just make one other correction, then we're gonna end this. But this is not a position of power. If anything, we're trying to be leaders as an organization to give back to our community. It's not about power. Thank you. Okay, yes.
Yes, my name is Deborah Gilstrom. I'm a resident of Russell Township.
Where do you live, Deborah?
15734 Hemlock Road. I'm
Thank
just
you.
a stone's throw from the Madru Farm. And I'm anxious, my curiosity was aroused tonight about your description of the correct way to do a survey. And I know I've wondered about a survey. Tonight also there were additional pieces of commentary that I think enter into where I'm going. One is that you made, Mr. Ginsky, the comments that you wanted to be the voice for all of us. You wanted to be the voice, and that you were trying to do the right thing. And I truly believe that. I think it's hard to be in a position that no one knows what you're really giving. No one knows behind the scenes what you're doing. But I think the community here wants to know what you're doing behind the scenes when we come to a meeting. So when tonight Mrs. O'Brien mentioned that due to the weather there was no progress on the culverts and driveways and therefore no decisions, that disturbed me because it's that line of thinking that there were no decisions already made about where the drive would be, how the culvert would be, where the parking would be. It seemed to me that that would be informational gathering from the public that shows up that should be part of the decision making. So I just
Were you here at the last meeting,
Yes.
Deborah? Okay, do you remember we talked about that we had to meet with the police chief, the fire chief, and the, help me, Charlie, county engineer.
yes.
So we have to meet with them before we can talk about anything. So that's what
Right.
has to be happening. It hasn't happened. That's all I was saying.
Okay, so the no decisions didn't mean you were going to come back and report to us that here's the survey map and this is what we're doing. You meant that it was information?
There's been no decisions made with those three entities that I just named. Okay?
Okay.
I didn't meet with them. We didn't have a discussion about it. And then I have no knowledge of what the safety issues are to report. That's all I'm saying. So please don't be offended. It said there is nothing to share on that.
So really, maybe the word decision led me down the wrong path tonight, that maybe information gathering hadn't taken place rather than decision making had been already occurred. So I took it to mean that if there was that meeting, the decision would be made.
No.
Whereas I would hope it would be made with our input.
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Additional comments before we close? No? All right. Then I'm at 2017-42. I move to close the meeting, and it is 7:47 p.m.
Mrs. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Genski, meeting is closed.
Good job.
Good out there. the best thing to do is to go down. Go down there.